I'm sure you've heard the news. In a quiet village, far from China's busy cities, lived 13-year-old Wang. This village, surrounded by hills and green fields, felt like a place where time stopped. The air smelled of flowers and the sound of birds filled the air. Wang, with his gentle smile and curious mind, often walked the dirt roads, dreaming of adventures beyond the horizon. His parents worked far away in the city, hoping to create a better life. They worked in factories, their hands tired and faces worn, all for the hope of giving Wang chances they never had. The city, with its concrete and steel, was very different from the peaceful village Wang called home. Every month they sent money back along with letters filled with love and longing. Wang lived with his grandparents and missed his parents a lot. His grandparents, with their wrinkled faces and kind eyes, did their best to fill the gap. They told him stories of the past, of a time when the family was together. Wang loved these moments, but the pain of missing his parents never really went away. He often looked at old family photos, tracing the faces of his parents with his fingers, wishing they were there with him. He was a good, quiet boy who did well in school. Wang's teachers often praised him for his hard work and intelligence. He spent hours studying, his small room filled with books and papers. Education was his escape, a way to make his parents proud and to one day be with them again. Despite the challenges, Wang stayed hopeful and determined, his eyes always on the future. He dreamed of a better future with his family. In his dreams they were all together, laughing and sharing meals. He imagined a life where his parents didn't have to work so far away, where they could watch him grow and achieve his dreams. These dreams gave him strength, a light of hope in the quiet, lonely nights. But something terrible was about to happen. The skies darkened, and a sense of fear filled the air. The village, usually so peaceful, seemed to hold its breath. Wang could feel the change, a storm not just of nature but of fate coming. It was a storm that would test his strength and courage in ways he could never have imagined. The people who hurt him were his classmates, boys he saw every day. They were boys who, like him, carried their own burdens and sorrows, but instead of finding comfort in each other, they turned their pain into cruelty. The schoolyard, once a place of learning and friendship, became a battleground. Wang, with his quiet nature, became an easy target for their frustrations. Boys who, like him, missed their parents who worked far away. They were all victims of a system that separated families in the name of progress. Each child in their own way dealt with the absence of their parents. Some became angry, others quiet. Wang, despite the bullying, held on to his dreams and the hope that one day, things would be different. He believed in a future where families could stay together, where children wouldn't have to grow up feeling forgotten. Wang's life, filled with dreams and hope, was tragically cut short, leaving a void that would never be filled. His murder was not just a loss of a young life but a shattering of dreams and a deep emotional scar on the community. Wang was known for being kind and gentle. He was a smart student who loved to learn. Wang liked spending time in nature and helping others. But one day he was tricked into going to an old empty greenhouse. There, Zhang and Li attacked him. Wang, even though he was gentle, couldn't fight back. The attack was very cruel and shocked the community. Wang was a loved son. He worked hard to take care of his family. His life was full of joy and love. The murder left a big, empty space. Wang's family was broken, their sadness was too much. Section 4, Echoes of Outrage. News of Wang's sad death spread fast across China. Wang was a smart and kind person, loved by his family and friends. The media covered the story a lot, with headlines catching everyone's eye. People from all over were glued to their screens trying to understand what had happened. The story was shared on social media and soon it was the main topic in every home. The emotional impact was huge. People were angry and sad, as many could not believe the cruelty involved in Wang's death. Communities came together to mourn, holding vigils and memorials for Wang. The shared grief was strong, and it was clear that this event had deeply affected society. They talked about it online. Social media was full of posts showing anger and sadness. Hashtags about Wang's death trended for days as people shared their thoughts and feelings. Online forums and discussion boards were filled with talks about why this happened and what it meant. How could children do such a bad thing? This question was on everyone's mind. Parents, teachers, and psychologists tried to understand why this happened. Talks in classrooms and homes focused on how children are raised and what can be done to stop such things from happening again. People asked if the punishment was enough. The legal process was watched closely, with many questioning if the justice system was fair. Protests started asking for stricter laws and harsher penalties for those involved. The courtroom became the center of the nation's call for justice. They talked about the problems of children left behind in villages, while their parents work in cities. This event highlighted the bigger issue of rural children growing up without their parents. The challenges faced by these children, often left to take care of themselves, became a big part of the national conversation. They talked about problems in schools and families. The event led to a deeper look at the education system and family life. Parents and teachers discussed the need for better support, more communication, and the importance of creating a safe and caring environment for children to grow up in. Section 5. The Sad Life of Wang. Wang was one of many kids in China whose parents worked far away. He lived with his grandparents in a small village. Wang often felt lonely and sad. He was picked on and hurt by others. His sad death left a deep mark on the community, showing the pain he went through. Section 6. Remembering Wang. Wang was a smart young boy with big dreams. He did well in school and was liked by his teachers and friends. His sad death left his family and community very sad. Everyone who knew him felt the pain of his loss deeply. Wang's life was full of hope, and his early death has left a hole that can never be filled.